Okay. What was I going to do? I think I want to get more scrap. Nah, you know what? Let's start the quest. Power up the archive. One way to get the data you need from the archive is to power up the whole machinery of it. A daunting engineering task. But I am the perfect guy for it. Extract the records. Slower than turning on the entire archive. Selectively extracting records is safer and slower method to get what you need. Is the safe and slow method? I don't mind. Identifying a ship with a viable ship mind means pouring through the records of Solheim shipping lanes. So we're kind of using this place to find where the ship mind is. Pretty much. A section of the archive begins to spin up. The room rumbles and flickers with light. I'm losing energy for this. It's crazy. We are going to try and get some free energy. Jeez, man, this really doesn't work for me. That's fine. We'll eat. Rig galley. Let's take a look at the other one. Let's see what it says. You extract a partial code base for searching the records. This will make things easier. Right. So we're gonna rest. Search for supplies is good. Gonna end cycle to be accurate. Man, this is. Let's see if I get lucky. Really? Negative outcome all the time? Whoa! Alright. I think I'm going to get some supplies. Nah, let's rest. Let's cycle. End cycle. Not bad, not bad. Idle minds, the archive is coming online. You watch as the terminals light up in the dark. You hear something in the dark. Helium Gate. In the dark and airless void of the archives, something flickers. You have been working in the dark, picking through the guts of corroded machines, skimming the data in their corrupt memories, digging through a graveyard in search of ghosts. But now, with another flicker, the place begins to come back to life. All along the rows of benches, some of them crushed by fallen ceiling panels, terminals begin to flicker into uneasy light. A cacophony of distorted sounds accompany the machines as some of them immediately glitch and spark. Did you do this? You stand frozen as the archive glitters around you with a million shipping entries. The stream of information is overwhelming. Node graphs drawing out routes and inventories, tracing a web around you in pale cyan. Suddenly, they all shut off, the terminals blinking out together, leaving a single translucent screen glowing softly in the dim room. And in that dim room, drifting towards you out of the dark, you see a figure. Is this what you are looking for? The voice crackles aggressively through your suit's local comms. Who are you? No way. Junie. Where do we see Junie? Yes, at the start of the game. Sleeper, is that you? You hear Junie's voice now, tense and unsure. She stops beside the single online terminal, her suited form lit in pale light. Junie! You hear the smile in her voice. Good to see you again. She pauses and glances around, though the venue is a little unexpected. What are you doing here? I'm searching these archives to, although slightly less forcefully than you. I did have this whole speech prepared for whatever salvager was ripping through these archives so messily, not to mention aggressively. But now that I know it was you, well, I'm just glad to see you. Although you really need to be more careful, you could have taken the entire archive down the way you were working with it. These machines are decades old. You can't just rifle through them like they were a scrap pile. I saw the pattern in your queries. A prime ship mind equipped ship? Still operational at the collapse, last located in the region around Helium Gate? You can feel how pleased she is with herself from here. That about right? Nicely done. She nods. Would you expect anything else? That's why I did the hard work for you. Junie beckons you over to the lone lit up terminal. You drift over, and you see a single point, a faded transit trail beside it, sunward from the Helium Gate. Something like this, maybe? She smiles and steps aside so you can see the screen. You check the info pane beside the map. Ship mind in use, abandoned by all hands after the collapse, tantalizingly in reach. What can I say? Try. Thank you, Junie. But Junie turns, and in the glow of the terminal meets your eye with complete seriousness. The question is, what do you want it for? Explain about your body. Yes. You tell her what Jean-Mi told you about your shifting body, transformed by some unknown influence, about the need for a prime ship mind to house your emulated mind while he runs a diagnostic process. She is silent for a moment, unsure how to respond. I'm sorry, Sleeper, but I think I can help you. I want to come with you. Junie gives you a strong look. Do you know how often someone gets out to one of these old Solheim wrecks? They are more trouble than they are worth, but contained inside, there's an entire history to uncover. Uncover and take, you mean? I need that ship mind. And you are welcome to it, she pauses. I promise to help you get what you need, and not get in your way. I know I can't force you or trick you into taking me. That's why I wanted to offer you this instead. She indicates the terminal, still showing the ship's final resting place. I hope that maybe if I helped you find what you needed, it would show I can be trusted. I trust you. She smiles. Thank you for saying so. I'll send the coordinates to your ship, and I'll be hanging around the gate until you are ready to leave. She shifts in front of the terminal and plugs in her deck, tapping away at rapid speed. If you need to go get supplies from the spindle or anything else, fine. She folds her arms. I'll wait. But if you go on this job without me, I'll get the message. She shrugs. You won't see me again. With that, you leave her in the archive, extracting data, as you ascend back to Helion Gate's upper levels. Nah, I like Junie. She can come for sure. Let me get a supply. That's the most important thing. We need 5 of them bad boys. And it's time for us to do the mission. Danger. Jean-Mi. In order to run a full diagnostic of your system, Jean-Mi needs a shipmate. This Solheim wreck, abandoned during the collapse, is your best shot. Confirm. Is that into it? I hope so. Seraphine. Good dice. We're too far sunward, sleeper. Seraphin turns back in his chair to look at you. I don't like it. It's hard not to agree. The coordinates Junie found have drawn you out of the Helion Gate and almost out of the belt, completely into the soft rubble strewn transition of the Helion system to the edge of Conway-controlled space. That's why this ship is likely to be untouched. Junie surveys the wreck coldly. It's too far sunward for belt traffic to run into, and now, with Conway drones patrolling the edge of the belt, it's even less attractive as a salvage site. Lucky us. Junie eyes you, trying to detect if you are being sarcastic or not. I doubt anyone has been here in decades, so actually I would say we are lucky. Any drone signals? Nothing I can see, but I don't dare reach out too far. Seraphim flicks a few switches. You should assume they're out there. As you look out at the twisted wreck, you swear you see a red light blinking between the stars. You exchange a look with Seraphim. He has seen it too. We better get to it, sleeper. Seraphim begins unclipping from his seat, quickly and quietly. From what I understand, Conway drones run on automatic until they detect something of interest. Junie unclips too. So as long as we are quiet, we don't have to contend with an operator, just automated search sweeps. So, if we are detected, we will be killed by a machine, not a person. Bliss shakes their head. I don't find that very reassuring. They get up out of the corner seat and glide towards the back of the ship to get suited up. You drift out of your chair and head towards the airlock, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. Being here is a risk, you know that, but you need this ship mind. No matter what happens, you won't be leaving here empty-handed. Ooh, big words, bro. We might have to. Conway alert. We got a few what's this again? Like stress to the wreck. Mistakes we can make. Explore the ship. Starting up network architecture might bring unwanted attention, while exploring in person is likely to keep your crew undetected. Extract map data. Some of the ship's network architecture still functions. Accessing map data from it will help you explore the wreck. I think I don't want to push. I don't want to have to push at all. This is gonna give stress for sure. Let's do this. An entire section of the ship, fully mapped, is found among the corrupted data. This will help. Let's do it. Let's do it. Woo! I'm in control, sleeper. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Your time, bro. I'll do the job. No problem. Positive. Ooh, that's how we do it. It's gonna be me that fails. That gets a normal one. Oh, we're resting. We're resting. We're resting. In cycle. Good job, team. Get some rest. Ooh. Alright. Me first. Feeling lucky. An entire section of the ship, fully mapped, is found among the corrupted data. Ooh. Maybe I should do this. I'll give it a shot, sleeper. There are fragments of the ship's layout in the data extracted. It's a big ship. Let's go, bro. Don't screw this up. Jeez, not what I was going for. You kinda suck, bro. You kinda suck. A jagged, dark, labyrinthine wreck. This place is a nightmare to navigate safely. You've located the ship mine cradle. Time to extract it. Junie leads you deep into the wreck, through crushed and twisted corridors, floating panels and wires appearing suddenly in your headlamps like strange sculptures. Just as you begin to tire of the endless dark and the haze of particles washing over your suit, Junie leads you into a chamber where the ceiling is torn open to reveal the stars. At its center lies a cylindrical object, half your height, but raised on a complex pedestal, from which countless thick cables shake off into the dark like a braided hair. One or two of them float freely, waving back and forth, glinting, severed ends, but most of them disappear into the floor and walls, or twist and curve out of sight. 1 second, let me... Just moved my mic. It might sound clearer, I'm not sure. Or no difference. Beautiful, isn't it? Junie stares at the prime ship mind, the stars reflected in her faceplate. Not bad. Junie glides over to the pedestal, pushing her way delicately through the wires. As she takes out her terminal and looks for an access port, she talks softly, her voice carried through the suit comms. These cables lead off to every one of the ship's systems. Engines, life support, navigation, lighting, networking, you name it. ShipMind has hard-wired access to them all. When an old ship like this was running well, the shipmind would distribute itself. Some of its protocols running freely in different sections. It would be less like a single governing mind and more like a load of systems clamped together to form a complex living machine. Think of a plant rather than a being. A plant with incredibly rapid processing power and a much more accelerated response time than your average tree. You watch as she finds an access port and slips a cable inside, slotting a translucent screen onto the top edge of her deck. Let's see here. Junie's screen fills with bright scrolling data. Incredible. There's so much here. She hits a few keys. I'll start copying this over. It's everything I need. You watch as Junie starts rapidly tapping at her keyboard, her attention sucked into the data she is extracting. Wait for her to notice. You wait quietly in the ruined chamber, watching the stars through the ripped roof. You can understand Junie's insatiable curiosity. These wrecks are incredible. Junie suddenly snaps out of her trance. Right, where were we? The shipmind. Let me check. As I thought, she sighs. So like I was saying, the protocols inside the shipmind are distributed. So when the shipmind is shut down unexpectedly, the protocols are rarely all contained in this unit. She places a hand gently on the cylinder. As is the case here, parts of it are trapped elsewhere. In the ship system's notes, she taps a few keys, which is a problem. There's always a problem. Luckily, Junie turns to you smiling. You have me. If we rip this thing out now, with parts of its protocols elsewhere, it's probably going to destroy itself the moment we turn it on. It doesn't matter that we are going to wipe the whole thing anyway. It'll be too late. The mind inside the shipmind will be broken. But if we find the nodes housing the distributed parts, power them up, and then disconnect them, the protocols will be sent right back into the shipmind here, and we can take it out clean. How do we find the nodes? We either ask the cradle very nicely, or we spend the next cycles following these cables to see where they lead. I've got an incoming signal. Seraphine's voice suddenly cut through on the comms, urgent and nervous. If you're lighting up the systems and networks down there, time to stop. You hear a click as Junie disconnects from the cradle, and the two of you exchange nervous looks, instinctively backing off from the shipmind. Suddenly, a faint red light glitters in the dark beyond the broken ceiling. You hold still. The moment stretches out, and you hear Junie's breathing through the comms. The light flashes, pauses, and then fades. You take a breath. Too close. Conway drone, Junie whispers, sniffing the network. We're clear, Seraphine chimes in again. I've turned off almost all of the rig systems, but we need to be careful. Keep network activity to a minimum. Understood, Junie cuts in. But we will need to access the networks to get this shipmind out quickly. Then I hope you are feeling lucky. There's a click as Seraphine closes the line. You and Junie look at each other again, and then at the shipmind, encased in its cradle, wrapped in cables. This isn't going to be easy. Oh, stressing me out. Wreck cradle, derelict command center. Track cables. If you want to keep the network quiet, your only option is to track the physical connections the cradle has with the rest of the ship. And hack cradle. Hacking the cradle directly will reveal data on the shipmind system, but any network activity is likely to draw attention to the wreck. I think I'm gonna rest. Oh, what am I doing? I need to use this one. Bliss just isn't carrying his weight this game. Actually, he is a little bit. Alright, let's do this. There are so many branching connections, but with care and diligence, they are traced. You're damn right. Okay. I'm going to rest. I'm gonna rest. And cycle. Yeah. We don't need to push anything today. Or right now. Good die. Ooh, they are taking a break today. So good. Alright. This is all me. Feeling good. Bow. Yeah, this is it can't get better than this. This is totally fine. Totally fine. Is it worth it? I don't think it's worth it. Do you know what? I think it is actually. Because I don't know what's coming next. Oh. Alright. Didn't get lucky. Fair enough. End cycle. Ah, looking good, man. Looking good. What you say now? You locate the key nodes that need to be disconnected to free the ship mind. Okay. Engineer, your boy is gonna handle this one. And engineer for that too. It's looking alright, to be honest. Cut node, one clean cut through the connecting cable and the node will be disconnected, but mess it up and there could be trouble. The cut is clean and the node goes dark. I'm the best. The node has been disconnected from the ship mind's cradle. Disconnecting its nodes by any means will allow the ship mind to be extracted safely. Alright. You can do one. Disable node. This node needs to be disabled precisely and quickly to keep your incursion under wraps. The node goes quiet. Cleanly done. Yeah, we're gonna rest. I'm wasting a lot of dice here, but I think it's the right choice. Whew, why are they rolling so low? Let's go ahead and use this. No, we actually want to end it. We want to end it. The node has been disconnected from the ship mind's cradle. It's ready, sleeper. Junie's voice comes quietly through your comms. You look over to her, floating beside the cradle, uplit by the pale screen of her deck. She gives you a reassuring nod. You turn to the prime ship mind, now floating above its cradle. The final node's disconnected and the lock's released. You glide over and gently grab it, the worn metal casing gleaming in the dim light. As you do, you feel a strange sensation of something moving around inside, like a creature in a box, the weight shifting this way and that under the pressure of your grip. It suddenly dawns on you that Jean-Mi plans to put you inside this strange device to hold your mind there while he investigates your body. The thought prompts a shiver. That drone still sniffing around, sleeper. Seraphine's voice crackles on the comms. So if you have what you need, let's go. You feel Junie's hand fall on your shoulder. Come on, sleeper, don't overthink it. She pats you gently. There will be plenty of time for that later. You look up and see a faint red light glittering in the dark beyond the broken ceiling. Time to leave. Derelict, twisted plates and dark passages. This quest was really good. It actually, like, I could imagine doing it in like a first person. That was dope. Let's get out of here. Man, I would love this universe to have like an adventure game, you know what I mean? Like a first person or even third person run around kind of thing. You want to get out here. Arriving back at the Helion Gate, as lonely and cold as it is, feels like a relief. There was a tension in the rig as you came back out of the inner system, a watchfulness for errant signals. Like, what's that, like random roaming signals, and glinting red beacons that choked the conversation. Errant, behaving wrongly in some way, especially by leaving home.
Errant.
There you go. By now, floating in the comforting shadow of this vast ruin, the sense of relief is palpable. That's one prime shipmind, condition unknown, retrieved. Seraphine runs the engine shutdown protocols as he speaks. I'd mark that as a success. We cut it a little close. Agreed, thank you. Let's head to Flotsam. Give me a minute. Seraphine reaches up and flicks a switch above him. We haven't even stopped yet. Sleeper, can I speak with you? Junie asks from the back of the cockpit. Of course. She leads you out into the passage, tucking herself against the wall. She looks small, even in this compact space. Thank you for taking me with you. I hope I proved I am trustworthy. I never doubted you. It's nice to hear. She smiles at the floor. Thank you. In my time here, in the belt, I haven't found it easy to make friends, she falters, tripping over her words slightly. But you, sleeper? Well, I hope you'd consider me a friend at least. Junie, now isn't the time. I would. She can't help but smile. Glad. Then I would like to ask you something. She pauses. Would you consider taking me with you on the rig? She blurts out. It was like, would you consider taking me with you on the rig? And then, before you can answer, I think I would be of help for your diagnostic. And in the meantime, I can take a look at the ship mind, make sure it is ready, and yes, Junie, you can. She stops, speechless. She looks down at her hands and then back up at you. Okay. She smiles. Thank you. She looks down again. I will find a bunk. And she quickly glides off down the corridor before you can say anything further. Another stray collected. Seraphine puts a hand on your shoulder. Quite the refuge we are building here. He gives you a sly smile. You don't approve? Seraphine shrugs. You know, I've actually started to warm to this one. She's alright by me. He smiles and pushes off from your shoulder, gliding towards the engine room. You look towards the bunks, but Junie is already out of sight, likely unpacking already. The ship is getting a little crowded, but you are starting to realize you like it like that. At the very least, she'll prove invaluable when you get to Flotsam and have to deal with Jean Me. Perhaps she'll even have a read on the old man. He paused for a second, appreciating the warmth, the hum of the rig and its inhabitants. This ship, you think, is starting to feel like a home. Starting to feel like home. Yeah, I like Junie, man. She's chill. I don't know how the hell she got over here by herself though. I need supplies. This is the place we go to re-up. Looking good. Prime ship mind, a high capacity Solheim ship mind in unknown condition. I do think we need fuel, so I'm gonna rest. Maybe we rest 2 cycles here. Wish I could level up my my crew. I guess this is the artificial way to do it. +1 to crew dice, I like that. -1 crew stress unless full. Minus crew stress if full. So I'll be stressing myself out, but I'll be like keeping them low. I do like that. And then push affects both crew dice. I think I'll go for that, to be honest. +3 to the lowest crew dice. I think I'll do this one. I think I'll go both on this side. I gotta work on me first. End cycle. Need to get some cash money. Oh, I should have looked at what I was doing. I'm not min-maxing right now. I'm not min-maxing at all. Free fuel. That's more than enough to get to where we're going. And it's money time. Yeah, let's do this. You feel me? Scavenge fuel, Gojunium bliss, beautiful. Good. Going to data scrap. Whenever this comes in handy, we're gonna be prepared. Might lose 1 energy here, but it's fine. Today's a good day. This is a good sign. So now, map, belt. Do I want to go all the way there? Don't think there's any reason to go. I mean, for money. For money, right? What's that for? Let's just go. Big boy dice. And we ain't even gonna mess around. We're just gonna go straight here. Give me the morning. Give me the morning. I think it's still good for me to do this. Ooh. Guys, Gaia with the good stuff. I would get a 5 on the other one. Let's do it. 11. Fuel, yes. Nice. That was a good amount of fuel. Scrap a ship. One more time. Let's do this. Get a little bit more money. Yup. I think that's all I want to do, and then we'll travel. Gonna travel soon. See if I get more fuel for free. I didn't, but I got very good dice. Very good dice. I don't have any scrap components. I don't want to spend on that. Really don't. Let's do this. Nice. Yeah. We'll rest and cycle. Let's eat. Let's eat. Cycle. Whoa! You have to see this, Sleeper. Junie comes to find you in the rig, her face flushed with excitement. At first I didn't believe it. Junie can't help herself while she leads you through the ship. There are mentions, occasionally, but I've always understood them to be references to something smaller. A system or unit, not an entire facility, even a series of facilities. You find yourself in one of the more sparse bays of the rig, a corner with a sloped ceiling used for storage. So I checked other records, tried to find correlations, and well, there they were. You see Junie approaching what looked like a clump of scrap components when you entered. Now, looking closer, you see it's actually a section of the core you extracted from the Solheim derelict. The one Junie was so eager to acquire. She sees you looking curiously at what remains of the core. I've had to deconstruct it, over time pulling away the layers of security and corroded outer systems, but all the data has been scraped and stored. I used data from the derelict near Helion Gate 2. That was the key to cracking the cipher. She looks very pleased with herself. It's really quite something. To confirm a rumor like this, I surprised myself. She turns to you, a slightly manic look in her eyes. What did you find? They refer to them as bunkers. Junie shifts to her deck, floating on the end of a thick connecting cable. They were a form of self-surveillance for Solheim, a way of monitoring their own systems and employees securely. They were hidden, mostly automated, linked into the network by arrays, intended for vast amounts of data capture, to be poured over by a small staff. Junie taps a few keys on her deck. Most were understood to have been purged in the collapse, shut down, depressurized, even sent on collision trajectories with other bodies. She pauses, though I suspect that last one is a little too far-fetched. I've heard people deny they even exist, that we are misreading the data, that the evidence doesn't hold. Junie turns the deck screen to face you, but I found one. You see a map, a set of coordinates on the sunward side of Holmes Rock, the edge of the belt. Why are these bunkers so important? We're talking masses of records from the collapse, the kind lost to bit rot everywhere else in the belt. The bunkers are what they sound like, closed facilities intended to preserve data. Any one of these bunkers is a gold mine. Junie pauses. At least from a data archaeologist's perspective, she sees your reaction. And, Junie adds, hoping to convince you, in truth, we don't know what else is in there. They could be Solheim tech, blueprints, data never before seen in the belt. We should take a look. I'll give Seraphine the details. She smiles. We could be making history here. And thank you, Sleeper. Junie bows her head a little. I never would have found this without the core you gave me. I understand that was a sacrifice on your part. Now is the time to claim the rewards. You leave Junie in the storage bay, working obsessively through the data. It's hard to know, through all the excitement, what the real value of one of these bunker facilities might be. But if they are as well hidden as Junie said, there must be a reason. When there's time, you hope to find out what that reason is. What are we doing? So we're traveling this cycle. That's for sure. Give me the morning. Okay. And I think I'm gonna buy two fuels. Looking good, looking pretty healthy. Holmes Rock. Okay, Flotsam, so I'd have to go here, then here. I mean, do we? It might be worth going here before the quest. It might be worth it. Because this could start a chain reaction of Lane being a dick. Let's do this, man. Let's turn in, because I want points, and I'll level up Hopefully I can level up before I do another contract. Big boy dice. What I got going on over here? Let's save the dice. Maybe something else will pop up after this. Give Prime Shipman Jean-Mi his promise to run diagnostics. Jean-Mi warmly smiles at the shipmind as you place it on his counter. A beautiful fine sleeper. Alright, time to treat me nice. Come, let's get you inside. Jean-Mi swings open the creaking, corroded door beside his booth. Such a prize must have levied a heavy cost. You glance beside you to Junie, who insisted she came along, and on not letting the Prime Shipmind out of her sight. Your friend, too. Yes, please, come in. Jean-Mi beckons and then turns back and disappears inside. Junie squints at you. Are you sure you trust this one? I'm not sure I do. I'll try to keep an eye on him then, as best as I can, she sighs. Lead on. You both squeeze through the door and drift down into the workshop. You are aware of Junie's eyes wandering across the piles and piles of tech on either side, and you wonder if she recognizes anything among the junk. Sit, sleeper. Jean-Mi is already at the chair, arranging his array of articulated arms. And I'll take that shipmind, if you please. Hand it over. You hold the shipmind in front of you and give it a small push so it floats gently over to Jean-Mi. He grasps it with both hands and takes it to a neat little work table in the back you didn't see before, where thick cables float lazily, tethered to the wall. You slide into the chair, hooking your feet behind the bottom bar to hold yourself in place, and watch as Jean-Mi begins connecting up the Prime Shipmind. A tremble of nervousness runs along your arms. Suddenly you feel Junie's hand clasped around your arm. You look over into her face. Is this okay? I want you to know I'm here. Thanks. She nods silently. Jean-Mi, Junie calls across the room. You are going to need to talk us through what you are about to do. Of course. Jean-Mi is slotting an arm-thick cable into the shipmind. A little patience, please. All of this is very technical. He turns to face you both. What is your friend's name, sleeper? Yo, just ask her. Jesus Christ. Junie. Junie answers for you. And I can tell you that you are using a Solheim-built data cradle, modified to handle a shipmind, a prime shipmind. She rattles off at speed, which will work as long as you manage the data flow through a polymer-clad overflow cable looped into the asynchronous cortex cache. Yes. Jean-Mi eyes her, a small smile crossing his lips. As I said, technical. What will happen to me? Jean-Mi refocuses on you. It depends, he says while preparing the far end of the thick cable. What are you referring to as me? Yo, chill, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I should jump out this seat. The problem I should jump out this seat, grab him by the neck. The problem we have is your frame, your body. Atypical alterations, biosynthetic recoding, unusual growth. Jean-Mi shakes his head. From the diagrammatics, I have these are not typical of frames, even those that have been rebooted as you have. In order to investigate safely, they must transplant your emulation. In basic terms, your mind. But in reality, not so basic. He smiles in an attempt at reassurance. Your emulation is an emulation of a human, and a human mind cannot be separated from its sensorium. The mind/body paradigm has been long disproved. Cognition has physical basis. So I must first distribute the emulation between your hardware and the prime ship mind. The hardware will co-run the emulation like the two lobes of a brain. He puts his hands together as if in prayer and then slowly separates them. The motion makes you feel sick. Then for a short period, I will disconnect the two. In those moments, you will, in a sense, be in two places at once, though each lobe will be partial. Too long in this state, and the two partial emulations would decay, but each disconnect will allow me a short period of full access to your entire frame and its base system language. I hope this is understandable. John Me gives you a serious look. One of the most curiously human aspects of sleeper experience is that you, too, do not inherently understand or conceive of systems that allow your existence. This is getting crazy. Have you done this before? You are the first sleeper I have encountered, so I must answer no. John Me smiles apologetically. But I can promise you, I have tried these concepts in my own practices. I am familiar with the needs and nuances of artificial minds. Now, before I connect to your frame, let us activate the ship mind. John B gestures to Junie. Please, if you would like to come with me and oversee the process, I would be pleased. Junie shoots you a reassuring glance and then glides over to the ship mind, obscuring your view of it. You hear quiet conversation between the two of them, their silhouettes lit by the flickering screen light of scrolling lines of code. You take a calming breath, but are instantly aware of how superfluous the action is. Superfluous.
Superfluous.
Superfluous. Superfluous. More than is needed or wanted. More than is needed or wanted. But are instantly aware of how superfluous that action is needed. Okay. So it's saying like the actual act of breathing isn't needed, but I'm using it for the calming sensation, I guess. You take a calming breath, but are instantly aware of how superfluous the action is when your frame requires no oxygen at all to function. I see. There's a certain sensation that accompanies such thoughts, a jarring disconnection, like when descending a staircase. Your foot expects a step and finds void instead. You try to calm the growing anxiety as Junie and Jean Mi assesses the mind. The ship mind is pristine. Junie turns back and drifts towards you. Our care in its extraction seems to have paid off, Junie smiles. This is good news. Junie is indeed right. You have done well. Jean Mi approaches. I am, however, seeing only minor traces of the protocol that the ship mind was designed to house. The one that ran the ship it was installed in, I would expect to see it in full. He angles his head and lifts his shoulders in a slow shrug. But protocols are not easy to track. In the end, it only saves us the step of extracting it from the mind. Instead, I simply wipe the traces. Jean Mi stops beside you. A protocol, Jean Mi adds. It's not like an emulation, like your emulation. It has no integral physical element. It is only data, and therefore could be anywhere in that ship. In the end, its absence does not concern me. Let's get on with it then. John Me nods and lifts the far end of the thick cable you saw earlier. You know this is the end that will connect to the port on the back of your head. Junie settles beside you again. She gives you a silent look. It's time. You turn to one side to allow access to the port, your eyes fixed on the far wall. You see something among the piled tech there that you hadn't noticed before. A small, metal, skull-like head, like that of a doll. You frowned, trying to focus on the head, and then the cable connects. You are split like a cell divided, wrenched in two directions at once. The world goes dark, and the cloud rushes in to fill the gap at your center. Where am I? Unknown, a vast and dark interior. You ask a question in your mind, and you feel it travel across the gaps as it forms, like a finger drawn across your skull from ear to ear, but not scalp. You have no scalp, no head. You are stretched out like the skin of a drum, looped like the string of a noose. The smallest vibration echoes across yourself like a ripple across a puddle. And then you feel it, a strong pulse, like a heartbeat, like thunder, like footsteps. A flickering. Is that me? Ooh, trembling. A thought coming into being. The thought flickers in front of you, and you recognize that it is not your own. Assist? Offer help? Disintegrate, the thought answers. You fold up in blankness, then a moment after you unfold like waking. Huh? Partition to divide to appear to suffer. Apparition. Tradition. To appear. Dwelling. Indwell. The thought answers. You stretch into infinitude. Then a moment after, you contract like waking. In spirit to haunt inside, inspire to grow inside, instill to flow inside. Let's sing the song. Substitute, substrate. The thought answers. Then it approaches. Then it enters. Then it is yours. You split. Then the moment after, you reform like waking. And in the cracks that seal up, for a moment in those cracks, something glows. Sleeper, I'm here. Your eyes flick open like shutters. Junie's face is close, her eyes wide. They're awake. She calls over your head. She looks back at you. Easy now, take it slow. You twist, floating, turn in your head as if you were underwater, feeling the resistance of a body you had already forgotten. How long has it been? You feel a weight you haven't felt in. You're okay, sleeper. Tell us you are there. Junie leans in close. Okay. Junie smiles. They're okay. She calls to John Me. John Me. I'm glad to hear that. You hear John Me's voice. He comes into focus. The process was successful. John Me floats beside the chair, his hands clasped in a business-like fashion. I was able to access the frame directly, without your emulation being present. I ran the administrator-level diagnostic processes built into its system and received the results. He takes a moment to gather himself. Your frame is indeed changing. The protein chains that code your biosynthetic organ group cells group cells replacement have been altered. What? The protein change that code your biosynthetic organ groups, cell replacement have been altered. To put it simply, your body is following a new set of instructions. Didn't the reboot do that? No, the reboot and recoding you underwent simply stopped those protein chains from artificially decaying, breaking your dependence on the stabilizer. This process, the entire replacement of your protein change could only have been achieved over multiple doses of a specialized substance as part of a carefully planned process of total substitution. That word sticks in your mind, substitution. You say it without thinking. Yes, Jean-Mi reacts as if you were speaking to him. I believe it could only have been achieved with one substance as the carrier, stabilizer. Stabilizer, the drug SNR designed to make you dependent on them. The drug Lane fed you to keep you alive. The drug you thought you had escaped. My stabilizer was laced with something? That is what I believe. Jean-Mi looks apologetic. This kind of process? Jean-Mi hesitates now, and you realize the bad news is yet to come. Performed over many doses, carefully planned and designed. I cannot think of a way it can be reversed. Oh no, Jean-Mi looks down. I can say that you are changing. I can tell you how it was achieved, but I can neither stop it nor tell you its ultimate end. I am sorry. I get up and leave. I understand. Sorry, Steeper. Junie struggles to find words. Perhaps we can find someone else, or she falters. Try again. You don't feel able to respond. You quietly push yourself away from the chair, your thoughts slow to cohere. You glide back to the door and then out into the flow of flotsam, the noise and activity passing by you like smoke. In the haze, you find that word again, substitute, and begin to wonder what exactly it is that you are becoming. Seraphin once more finds you in your bunk. He gently prods you with questions, and you quickly relent. You explain what Jean-Mi said about your suspicions regarding Lane, and your confusion as to his motivation. You tell him you don't know what this will mean for you in the future. He listens, and when he is done listening, you both sit and wait for the moment to pass, and then you leave the rig, each on your own errands, each knowing that the only option is to keep going until you are forced to stop. Yo, Lane, man, Lane is a problem. Make a little bit of money. Yo, that was a sad quest. Integration means meshing systems as well as scrap. Integrators will pay for anyone skilled with meshing networks. Oh, I get scrap from here too. Scrap and money. I see. This place is not so bad. What is this place called? Flotsam. I think I'm gonna write that down, right? Because I need these notes. Interrogator officers. Flotsam. And then we'll put scrap and Interrogazione. And that is interrogator officers. Sorry, integrator. Integrator officers. What's a management association? What else is here? Work the hydroponics. This is just money, right? Energy, money and energy. I don't ignore that though. We will do it again though. One time. Just money that time. I should have read that. So the little C means you can make money here. Let's buy fuel. Oh man, that quest didn't leave a good taste in my mouth, man. That sucks. Maybe I work here for a bit and then fly to the gate. You know? Something like that.